So, welcome, Julie. I want you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm Julie Meyer. I run Ariadne Capital. Ariadne Capital is now in its 12th year. We're an investment and advisory firm, but really with a new style to that, because we have three parts to the business. We have one part which invests in digital startups. We have another part of the business which advises corporates on how digital business models are transforming their business. And then a third part of the business which is called Entrepreneur Country, which is a community conference business. It's where we listen to the market, talk to the market. And Entrepreneur Country is where we feel that all entrepreneurs go every day. We go to this fictional place called Entrepreneur Country where we kind of break through and bounce over the near-death experiences. So that's what I do, kind of 90 hours a week.
What do you look out for when investing in a business?
Look for the people. So we have a kind of quite tried and tested set of characteristics. I met a really interesting woman yesterday. I meet on Sunday afternoons. I kind of meet one or two entrepreneurs, and it's Ezra Young of the Rag Trader, and I thought she was fantastic. And she's one of two. So we look for a kind of business brain and a product brain. Could be tech, product, business, sales, right? So we like for there to be a good duo at the base of it. We look for people with an extraordinary track record of success, where and even when we hire people at Ariadne, we say, well, what's the biggest risk that you've ever taken? And you learn a lot about somebody if you ask them that question, because people might say, they might say, actually, you think, oh my God, is that the biggest risk that you've ever taken, right? So you're looking for what's normal for them, right? Do they consistently stretch themselves at an early age until they start having these milestones of success? Or did they wake up at age 37 and say, I'm going to set up a business, right? And if it's the latter, you think that's a big risk, right? Because they're not used to pushing the envelope and really having to exert themselves to achieve something. So finding out who they are and what's normal, what kind of milestones of success and achievement is what you try to uncover when you get to know them. We have this investment framework for Ariadne called ecosystem economics, which is what we think is happening in the world. It's built on Carlotta Perez's theory of disruptive technology and adoption. It's about how the digital enablers, the Davids, who are the startups, and the Goliaths, the big distribution. Telefonica has 300 million users. How does Telefonica deal with a little digital startup over here, right? How do they engage? Well, we think that they're creating ecosystem deals whereby, just like in music with Apple, there's multiple stakeholders, and we're looking for this particular configuration of business model. So we're not looking for disruptive technology. We're looking for very capital efficient businesses that are constructing network business models. We're looking for people that are strong in sales and marketing. We assume that the technology and product is going to be there, that the technology is mostly standardized. So those are some of the things that we're looking for.
Do you think anyone and everyone could set up a business?
No, I don't at all. I think a very small group of people can really devote the amount of, are used to a life which goes like this, and are used to spending 90 hours a week and think it's normal, right? So very, very few people. Now, the interesting question is, could more people do that than we currently have? That I am convinced that there are more people out there that have a big play inside of them. And the things that affect that are education, teachers, people along the way, your parents, who say, hey, you can do anything that you set your mind to, and you grow up and socialize kids to believe that they can do anything that they set their mind to. Some of them will choose to be astronauts, and some of them will choose to be Charles Dunstan, right? It's somewhere in between.
What are your top 5 tips for young entrepreneurs?
Well, top 5 tips are, I would say, put together a plan. And by put together a plan, I mean have a working model of how your business operates. It's not a business plan to get money. It's not a business plan to launch or get profitable. It's the business plan for the business. And that gets very complex and becomes the financials of your business at some point. But I would say get that set up early. Even if you have an idea, I'm going to deliver X to Y, start to look at the costs and the delivery and the revenues that you could get from it. Put together a spreadsheet and be very conversant with numbers in a spreadsheet, right? The second thing I would say is, be honest with yourself. What do people tell you you're good at? And if it's the hard number crunching, fantastic, find the other person who complements you. And if it's the marketing communications or the finance and find the complementary asset. It's very rare for somebody to be able to do it all on their own. It just is, right? And then the third bit is Share your idea, not all of it, but be sharing it. If you don't breathe air into it and give it oxygen, you can never get any sense whether it's good or not. So I didn't say, share all of the intellectual property of your idea online so that people can steal it. But as you feel that you are, somebody knows something about it and getting some information from them, you've got to find a way to share bits of it so that people can say, I think you're on the right track with that, but I do it differently. Then you can accept or reject their idea, but you've got to communicate, and you've got to think of communications as a way to get ideas and to connect to people in the market. So I try to be really clear about what I believe in, what Ariadne Capital is going to do, so that people can say, Julie, I think I'll go talk to her. And the number of times people have said, well, I know you're interested in dads and daughters, so they come to me. I know you're interested in X, and they come to me, right? And so you have to, part of making business work is to let the world know what you're good at, what you believe in, and what you intend to do. And if you don't do that, you can't really hold your hand up and say, well, no, but, I don't have a business partner and I haven't found any money and I don't know what to do. So there's 3.
Though they're extensive, so that's fine.
What was the last song that you listened to?
Oh God, I was listening to some REM this morning. I think I had REM's one of their albums on. I don't even know which one. Happy Shiny People. I think that REM song. You see, I'm far older than you are, so you don't probably even know who REM are.
You could sing a little bit for us.
Okay.
Well, I think that's why I said happy shiny people. This is one of the REM songs. I was listening to it this morning as I was getting around and I was dancing around in my room as a happy shiny person. So.
Well, that sums up then.
Good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Good.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Good.